Raccoon!
Are you okay? Hang on, I'll get a doctor.
Raccoon!
Raccoon?
I want a raccoon coat.
Why do you want a raccoon coat?
I should have known it. I should have known they'd come back when the Charleston came back. Like a fool, I spent all my money on textbooks. And now I can't get a raccoon coat.
People are actually wearing raccoon coats again?
All the big men on campus are wearing them. Where have you been?
In the library. It's not frequented by big men on campus.
I've got to have a raccoon coat. I've got to.
Petey, why? Look at it rationally. Raccoon coats are unsanitary. They smell bad. They shit.
You don't understand. It's just the thing to do. Don't you want to be in?
No.
Well, I do. I'd do anything for a raccoon coat. Anything.
Anything?
Anything.
It just so happens that Petey has something I want. I refer to his girl, Polly Espy. I have long coveted Polly Espy. My desire is not emotional in nature, however. I want Polly for a calculated and entirely cerebral reason. I am well aware of the necessity for a successful lawyer to have a beautiful, intelligent, gracious wife. Polly is full of graces. She has an erectness of carriage, an ease of bearing, and exquisite manners. She can eat a specialty sandwich without even getting her fingers moist. Polly, however, is not intelligent. She veers in the opposite direction, but I believe she will smarten up under my guidance. It's worth a shot. Petey, are you in love with Polly Espy?
Well, she's a really nice girl, but I don't know if you call it love. Why?
Do you have any sort of formal arrangement with her? I mean, are you going steady or anything like that?
No. We see each other a lot, but we have other dates. Why?
So, if you were out of the picture, she'd be open, right?
I guess so. What are you getting at?
Would you like it?
Oh, yes! Well, what do you want for it?
Your girl.
Polly? You want Polly? Never!
Well, if you don't want to be in, I guess it's your decision.
Well, it isn't like Polly and I are going steady.
That's right.
I mean, what's Polly to me?
Not a thing.
We were only going out casually.
Try it on.
Okay. Fits fine.
Is it a deal?
It's a deal.
I had my first date with Polly the following evening. This was in the nature of a survey. I wanted to find out just how much work I had to do to get her mind up to the standard I required. I took her first to dinner.
Gee, what a delish dinner.
Then I took her to a movie.
Gee, that was a Marvy movie.
And then I took her home.
Gee, I had a sensation time.
I had gravely underestimated the size of my task. This girl's lack of information was terrifying. Supplying information is not enough. She must be taught to think. Polly, tomorrow we're gonna get together and talk.
Ooh, terrific. What are we going to talk about?
Logic. I had to go about teaching Polly systematically. It happens that I, as a law student, am taking a course in logic myself. I have all the facts at my fingertips. Logic is the science of thinking. But before we can think correctly, we must learn to recognize the fallacies of logic. These will take up today.
Wowzers.
First, we will examine a fallacy called dicto simpliciter.
By all means.
Dicto simpliciter is an argument based on an unqualified generalization. For example, exercise is good. Therefore, everybody should exercise.
I agree. I mean, exercise is wonderful. I mean, it builds up the body and everything.
Polly, it's a fallacy. Exercise is good is an unqualified generalization. For instance, if you have a heart disease, exercise is bad, not good. Many people are advised by their doctors not to exercise. You must qualify the generalization. Otherwise, you've committed a dicto simpliciter. Do you see?
No, but this is Marvy. Do more.
It would be better if you stopped tugging at my sleeve. Next, we will take up a fallacy called hasty generalization. You can't speak French.
Je ne parle pas français.
P.D. Bellows also can't speak French.
Je n'ai pas français?
I must therefore conclude that nobody on campus can speak French.
Really? Nobody?
Nadie?
Polly, it's a fallacy. The generalization was reached too hastily. A hasty generalization. There are too few instances to support that conclusion.
No any more fallacies. This is even more fun than dancing.
Right. Let's call it a day, shall we?
But I want to learn more fallacies.
You can go over all the things you've learned today at home. Polly simply has a logic-proof head. I had wasted a day. But maybe, just maybe, somewhere in the extinct crater of her mind, a few embers smoldered. I decided to give it another try. We'll have another session tomorrow. The fallacy we will discuss today is called ad misericordia. Now listen closely. A man applies for a job. When the boss asks him what his qualifications are, he replies that he has a wife and 6 children at home. The wife is a helpless cripple. The children have nothing to eat, no shoes, no beds, no heater, and winter is coming.
Oh, this is awful. Awful.
Yes, it's awful, but it's no argument. The man never answered the boss's questions about his qualifications. Instead, he appealed to the boss's sympathy. He committed the fallacy of ad misericordia. Do you understand?
Have you got a handkerchief?
Let's move on to hypothesis contrary to the fact.
Sounds yummy.
Hypothesis contrary to the fact is the fallacy. I have a long way to go with Polly, but hopefully my lessons have begun to sink in. It's time for me to ask her to go steady. Polly, today we will not discuss fallacies.
Aw, gee.
My dear, we've gotten along splendidly for the past 3 days. It's clear we're well matched.
Hasty generalization.
I beg your pardon?
Hasty generalization. It's a fallacy. How can you say that we are well matched on the basis of 3 dates?
But, Polly, I love you. You're the world to me. Please, Polly, will you go steady with me? If not, my life will be meaningless. I will languish. I will refuse my meals. I will walk the earth like a miserable hulk.
Ad misericordiam.
Well, Polly, it's clear you've learned your fallacies.
You're darn right.
And who taught them to you?
You did.
That's right. So, you owe me something, don't you? If I hadn't come along, you would have never learned your fallacies.
Hypothesis contrary to fact.
Polly, you can't take this so seriously. This is classroom stuff. You know that this stuff doesn't apply to real life.
Dicto simpliciter.
Will you or will you not go steady with me?
I will not.
Why not?
Because I already promised Petey Bellows that I would go steady with him.
That rat! You can't go with him. He's a liar, he's a cheat, he's an idiot.
Poisoning the well. That's another fallacy. And stop shouting. I think shouting should be a fallacy too.
All right, you're a logician. Let's look at this logically. How could you choose Petey Bellows over me? Look at me. I'm a brilliant student, an intellectual, and my future is assured. Look at Petey. He's a knothead, a guy who has no future plans. Can you give me one logical reason why you should go steady with Petey Bellows?
Well, Petey's got a raccoon coat.